need a motion and a second to move out of executive session. I need a motion and a second to move out of executive.
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mary Jane, roll call.
What is my name?
Myron Alderman, President.
Present.
County Council, Vice President.
Present.
Jacqueline Colton, Colonel, Trustee.
Present.
Mark Marshall, Trustee.
Present.
And Ms. Kennedy is absent. Administration, Dr. Linda Adams, Superintendent of Schools.
Present.
Ms. Nicole Leeper, Interim Assistant Superintendent for Administration and Personnel.
Yes, present.
Lawrence Light, Interim Assistant Superintendent for Business and Operations. Dean Middleton, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Present.
Okay, there are changes to the meeting. Personnel schedule number 2. I need a motion and a second. Personnel.
Motion.
Second. Oh, right. You got a motion second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on.
Oh, can you add it? Yes.
Yes, we're adding it. Moving on to policy procedure. You, Eileen? Need a motion and a second?
No, this is not me. I did not do this one. I told you that last time. This is the
Oh.
committee.
This is a district
And I'm
committee.
still going to abstain on this one because I don't like all the language.
So if you don't like the language, you sit on the committee.
I did
on
not
the-
sit on the committee.
Not on this committee, but
No.
you said, can your committee look at this and come back to
I
the
would
board?
like to.
All right, so can we table it?
I actually needed to go forward because we needed to go to session every year, but we can actually come back with amendments if
Okay.
Mrs. Panico would like to amend. But I
Okay.
do need this to go through because it's mandatory by state education department for us to have it until the end of the year.
All right, so I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Moving on to, so that was the first reading?
No,
That was the
that's adopted
second.
now.
Yeah,
That was
it was
adopted.
Okay. All right, so moving on to new business. We have Flag Day, history, curriculum, and ceremonies. I believe, Jackie, that you wanted to make that discussion.
So after a couple of incidents that have occurred across the district in regards to different elementary schools along with the secondary schools, we see that only some schools are doing ceremonies and some are not. Some did ceremonies years ago. As per New York State curriculum, K-4, where we are supposed to be teaching them curriculum in regards to the American flag, the symbolism of it, its history. And so in place of that, we are asking the board to give each school the option to choose one of it's going to be between Patriots Day, which would be 9/11. It's going to be between Veterans Day, which some of the schools acknowledge as well, and it's going to be between Flag Day, where they would choose one of those to have as their ceremony. Each day they should have something, but one they have to pick to actually do something more elaborate than just something over the loudspeaker. Something that will tie into the curriculum, especially in the K-4 because it's part of the New York State curriculum. I believe Dean.
Yes, so in Friday's FYI, Dr. Adams had asked me to look at a policy to put this in place. We currently have policy 4821, which is school ceremonies and observances. The policy read that the Board of Education recognizes the value of certain ceremonies and observances in promoting patriotism, good citizenship among students. Therefore, activities in schools commemorating national holidays such as are encouraged. So we amended the language, and I will pass this out to everyone. Just throw it down. We included the language, so the highlighted, which I'll ask to be reviewed at the policy committee. Therefore, activities in schools commemorating national holidays such as Remembrance Day, Veterans Day, Flag Day, Memorial Day are required, and Thanksgiving and President's Day are encouraged. Perfect. We also did meet with all of our building principals to review the current activities and discuss the plans for moving forward. I met with our Director of Social Studies as well. She has put together packets for each of the schools, curriculum work, so we'll be moving forward with that as well.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
The next item for discussion is the bathroom at Kennecott High School.
So, I know Jackie brought that up, but I'm gonna just start with saying that, because that's where I think. With the bathrooms, we did have a discussion about, the board members going into the schools, and, Linda, we can go back this way? Yeah. Okay. So, what I think, and I'd like to get a consensus tonight, or a directive tonight, or whatever we want to call it, what's the terminology? The authority to, when we hear these rumors that a bathroom is locked or the latch is broken, that as a board member, we can call up one of the administrators, whether it be central office or the school district, and go down there and meet them in 5-10 minutes, and we'll meet you down there, let's go walk through the building and check it out. And then either confirm or deny the rumors right then and there. And it's over and done with, and we can fix it and be finished. So I would like a directive from the rest of us to be able to have that authority to go into the building to do that. Obviously, we can't just walk in, we do still have to call and say, we're coming down in 10 minutes. Not just walking into the building willy-nilly.
Is that something that you put in policy, or is that a directive?
That would be, what was the word they used?
He said it's still notification of the administration that would be necessary, and this whole policy actually has that in it.
Right.
So the board member would notify, and someone would go with the board member. There's
Right.
enough administrative
But
staff
right,
to have that happen.
right. We just have to notify you guys.
Right.
You have
So-
to change anything. you're
Well,
just-
we are, because our swipe cards currently don't work. So we would need the swipe cards to be reactivated.
Oh, okay, so there's more to it.
If we can go there, let's just say Linda's busy, we can still go down there.
Well,
I would find something.
There's
So,
plenty of administrators to meet us down there.
you know, Mrs. Middleman or
Right.
Mr. Allen or one of the APs, if it
I don't
was one
care
of
who
the bigger
meets us then.
buildings,
Right.
someone would meet you and you walk
Right.
the building that was being discussed.
If by chance, one of the 25 million administrators that we have here,
That's a little bit big.
I'm exaggerating a time, couldn't meet us, then at least we give our notification, which is in the policy, and then. But,
As long as the school is open and.
right, it's not
even
at
if
7
you
o'clock at
find
night, it's during
security
normal
guards,
business
fine.
hours, we can
Right.
talk about that.
Right.
So that's the resolution I want to make tonight.
What's the resolution you're looking for?
I think the other problem
Well,
was,
it's in policy already, but we would need our cards reactivated.
So then are you looking for a regulation?
You really can't have the cards reactivated though, because that would, it's still not.
Well, then I would like-
the program. We would call the school and say, Mrs. Panico is gonna be there in 15 minutes and such and such is gonna be on there. It's not a swing
No,
card.
I don't know if that's,
I think we need to
That
get.
piece wouldn't matter.
then they get legal for that, because that it shouldn't be an issue, because we're giving the notification, we're following the policy.
I think we have to ask.
Okay, then let's ask her, because when he said, he gave me that word, I forgot the word,
Why didn't we get them in the first place?
I don't have one, I gave mine back, it was
Why
useless.
didn't
They're really for identification. So when you're at school events and they're an identification card.
Yeah, when I attend buildings, I don't have to pull out my driver's license. They see that I have my badge.
You
I don't have a
you don't
badge.
get swiped in with driver's license.
I think the problem also with the bathroom situation at the high school is that too many of them are being closed during, in between classes, and then reopening and saying that they were broken. When in fact, they couldn't have been broken every in between the classes,
So,
every break. I mean, and I understand the situation, because you know, we may not have had enough aides, or we may not have had enough bathroom monitors, but we have to work on that.
So we're as, we're as concerned with the continual feedback as you are. It's something that we thought we provided a remedy for in the last budget cycle with providing aides and monitors for each of the bathrooms at the high school. And it's our understanding that those positions have been filled and those are going. We did have a spot check that was unannounced, where we had 2 individuals walk around the entire building checking every single bathroom, every single stall, every single sink, and I don't know the correct terminology for it, but they checked everything, and at no time were any of the bathrooms locked. So, it's definitely something that we're concerned about, we want to address, we want to make sure that it's happening. We're being informed by our building administration that it is not happening anymore, that they are not locking between. So it's something that we want to address, and we want to, we're going to be very active to make sure that it is.
Yeah, because building administration had told us that it was, he actually said that we did have some bathrooms that had to be locked because they were broken. That's the answer he had given us.
The other concern I have, is that a lot of children, including my child, that will not use the bathroom because of the vaping and everything else like that. We've had a lot of children that are afraid that if there's vaping going on, I happen to walk into the bathroom, I'm gonna get accused of vaping or be a party to the vaping. So,
I've spoken with the building principal about that as well, about the process for investigation, the process for determining disciplinary matters and consequences for students. He has spoken with his administration and says that it is not, he has directed his administrators at the building, the assistant principals, that it is not a blanket disciplinary matter, that it's every case is, and every student is treated as an individual.
okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna bring up some childhood trauma PTSD for me. I, like my daughter.
I don't know if I can help with that.
I, like my daughter, never used the school public bathrooms, right? So one day, I have to go to the bathroom, right? I'm about 3rd grade or 4th grade. Take it easy, Dean.
I was just asking if this was excessive.
Bear with it. So anyway, so I might have been 3rd or 4th grade, right? I go into the bathroom. I'm a little timid person like I am today. And there's about 8 or 9 girls in the bathroom. They're taking toilet paper, they're throwing up in the air. And little innocent me is just trying to use the bathroom. So, the lunch aide called us all out. We had a line up against the wall. And because there were so many in the bathroom, she didn't feel like going through each one of us to write all this up, right? Well, pick. Okay, again, you go. I was on the group that lost the lunch privileges, I think for a month or a week or whatever the heck it is. I didn't throw the toilet paper. So it's a reminder that when my daughter says to me, I will not use the bathroom, my traumatic PTSD moment in me comes out and saying, yeah, I got in trouble for something that I didn't do in the bathroom either.
And I can completely understand that, and it is something that the building principals are very aware of. It's something that we talk about on a consistent basis. We use a progressive form of discipline for all matters, and we treat every child as an individual. If there have been situations in the past where everybody who was in the bathroom was accused of doing whatever behavior it was, that is not happening going forward.
And I'm sorry if I scared you with mine.
I just get nervous.
But you're gonna contact her at the forum?
I will.
To get the proper language to it?
Just chime in on the whole thing.
No?
If you want to.
Okay.
Knowledge is power. A couple weeks ago,
Knowledge is power.
knowledge is power. A couple weeks ago, somebody had posted on Facebook a concern at the high school. It was forwarded to me. Within 5 minutes, I had the custodial supervisor and the head custodian of the building checking every single fixture in the entire building. 5 minutes.
I appreciate that.
But all it takes
I do.
is sharing the information, so, the board itself is a great source of information. Anytime you hear something, I'd much rather, already we're being reactive, but I'd much rather be proactive in addressing it instead of waiting for it to snowball in the community and everything else.
That's why we talked about that.
And for myself, I just asked, I think everybody has my cell number. You know, as provided the superintendent.
I posted it on
doesn't object.
Facebook just in case.
I don't think I have this thing.
I don't think so, I have
I will
any.
give it to you.
No, I think I do.
But please let me know, because so many of these things can be addressed. If you look at the summary that was sent to the board 2 weeks ago, we had one latch that was damaged. It was still working, but it was difficult to open the door. We changed it within 15 minutes. The custodian goes in there, cleans it, doesn't check the latches, so knowing it gives us the power to fix it. A flush under, it's
That's
obviously.
what I said, that's why we came up with that thing. If somebody posts on Facebook, or all one of us,
It's,
we'll go down and we'll meet.
You wanna know something, John,
it's so
honestly?
easy.
Well, I don't mean that for now.
Honestly, I appreciate you did, I sent the email and you did jump and run and get everything done. You were awesome, honestly, and you got right back to us and I appreciate that. I think the problem is that I don't even know if the bathroom was broken. That's where my problem comes in.
It's
Or
irrelevant.
if, no, or if that's what they're telling, that's the problem I have, is the high school telling children that the bathrooms are broken just so that they don't have to have any influx of children in the bathroom
In that particular
during
spot.
the, I don't even know what you call it anymore, the I keep saying the
Passing time.
is the passing time? It's the passing time in between the periods, but I think it's such a sad issue, and I've actually heard it from a number of people, not like one or two, and I actually saw Mr. Costa just in passing, and I brought it up to him, and he was very, he was honest about it. That's why I'm saying, like, if they don't have enough personnel, I would rather than bring it to the board, to all of us, and say, we need extra people, we need this and that. I would rather spend the money for our children to be able to go use the bathroom in between, because some children will not leave a
And
class.
they'll go to the nurse's
mean-
room or,
My daughter's only in middle school, but she will not leave a class to miss a minute of instruction. She's she's totally nothing like me, but she's so focused that she would have to, she's not in high school yet, but she would have a problem if she was in high school right now. Because the only time she can use the bathroom is in between classes.
So my point is, we can eliminate a large part of concern if we know up front. And we can know.
But my understanding, this is going on for years, which has nothing to do with you, this is,
I guarantee things have changed drastically in the past 18 months since this was first brought up. I know that for a fact.
well, it was just brought up to us and saying, like last week, in regards to parents are still annoyed, and I don't blame them if there's no real reason. If you're saying the bathrooms are broke, and like you guys went into the school and they're not broke, then using that, I'd rather somebody say, we have the bathroom shut because right now we can't man this bathroom. Not that I'm okay with that, but I'd rather know the truth, and I can tell parents, listen, we're working on getting somebody else to come in. We want to make sure your children are safe while they're in the bathroom and we don't have anything bad going on. But at the same token, we can't just shut bathrooms and say, we're just shutting bathrooms.
And 95% of the fixes can happen within an hour.
Absolutely.
We maintain a pretty good, set of supplies and backup and everything else. So I just want to emphasize the fact that information is power.
No, and I appreciate I honestly, I appreciate you doing what you do.
It's how we're all affected. It's all good.
Okay, any more, Mark? Would you like to answer this conversation?
I'm good.
Okay, moving on to public comment. We have up to 30 minutes in length and time. If Mary Jane, you could pull out the podium so that our people can speak. Mary.
I got it. I don't have to understand that. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, my winning lotto numbers.
So Linda's going through all this. I'm anticipating somebody's going to get up and speak.
I can just pass the microphone. Are we on? Is it on? It's like, it looks green.
Just for a chair, right here, my name.
Are we good? No.
Nope.
Does anybody need the mic? Anyone coming up? Okay.
So come on up.
I mean, that's what happened.
Price is right.
Thank you.
It's on. It's
It's
green.
You're gonna have Tom and I go
Here,
later.
Yeah, I'd like to. So it's not working?
It doesn't sound like You wanna stand or you wanna sit and talk? You know why? Because then we can hear you.
Yeah.
Or you don't. Just speak up.
This is really not working. Expert.
Dean is the tech person.
All right, Chris is up.
You can use that.
Now that deserves a B. I didn't say it.
I don't know. You can go.
It's gonna
Unless
take
it's
a few minutes.
directed
Go
at
ahead,
me.
Chris.
Yeah, we can do it.
Then you don't need the microphone.
Pay attention.
No one can hear.
Pay attention.
3 weeks ago, my next door neighbor was taking Ben's garbage at 11 a.m. A car came around the Roseville to Ocean Bend at a high rate of speed and slammed into him, killing him. This took place 4 feet from the end of my driveway.
Oh, can you back up a second? He slammed, it killed him?
Killed him. He's dead. 2 weeks later, another car heading northbound on Ocean around 4 p.m. in the afternoon crashed and flipped onto that same neighbor's front lawn, ironically and tragically interrupting that family prayer service for the deceased relative. Both these events took place during the daytime, not the wee hours of the morning. First week of school, I was standing outside my home. I saw a Connect bus let 5 students off at the same corner where these accidents occurred. The bus stop was on the side street, but then those 5 students walked to Ocean, where 3 of them turned to walk south and 2 walked north. The 2 girls walking northbound had to walk past 5 and 6 houses respectively before reaching their own. While they were walking, since Ocean doesn't have sidewalks, they had to keep jutting into the street to walk around the cars parked on the shoulder. Cars driving on Ocean were racing past them doing easily 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, which is customary for that area. Even more frustrating, that same bus had delayed the children off, then drove right past those children's homes to the next stop. We spend a lot of time and money in this district on security, and rightfully so. We also know statistically a child is being hit and killed by a car while waiting at or walking to a bus stop or school is one of the most likely dangers facing children, easily 30 to 40 times more likely than other potential incidents. I'm not audacious enough to suggest that every student receive door-to-door transportation. For the majority of students, the roads and bus stops where they live are safe enough. Nothing is 100% to be sure, but usually side roads aren't as conducive to the high rates of speed you see on other roads. My suggestion is that any student living on a road where the posted speed limit is higher than 30 miles per hour should be eligible for door-to-door transportation, irrespective of grade. We know people do 35 to 40 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, sometimes slower when they see buses with children, but they'll do 50, 60, 70 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. This might impact transportation, but honestly only slightly. For example, with this bus, instead of accessing Ocean via Woodlawn, that same bus can access via Michigan, make a ride on the Ocean and let students off at their home in Ocean. They continue north, past Woodlawn, and let the 2 female students off at their home on Ocean. This might add 1 or 2 stops per route, a maximum. A fair trade-off, I'd say, for student safety. We know the county hasn't considered this. The only change they've made, most recently at the Roseville Ocean Bend, is to widen the road, so drivers don't need to reduce their speed heading into or coming out of that turn. That's no help to you. I do recognize the conundrum. With this vulnerability clearly stated, it's kind of incumbent upon you to act. Should something happen with this knowledge out in play, it would be easy to prove negligence on your part for not having acted. But don't take my word for this. Any of you have an open invitation to visit my home any school day at 2:45 in the afternoon to see for yourself. Ask yourself if you feel comfortable seeing your child walking along this path, especially when an obviously easier fix is available. I look forward to hearing your actions.
So I'm not familiar with this corner. Is there something that the county or the state can do by putting a stop sign, a light, or
There is a light there.
There
That
is,
doesn't
oh, there
matter.
is a light there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dangerous, it's a very
Very
dangerous road.
dangerous, very scary.
Very
road.
dangerous road.
And he's not the first parent to say something. I actually got an email earlier today.
If they change the road, it's actually worse.
It is worse.
If people are speeding and they know they can make
Again,
a
he's not
turn.
the first parent to say about the bus stops. We have to make arrangements for these kids on the, especially on Ocean Avenue, where it is 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. And if you look at the traffic studies, the accidents from Roseville all the way down to Lakeland is horrendous. People
But I
are
would
killed
argue
all over the place.
any place that is a 40-mile-an-hour speed
There
limit
you go.
Yeah.
I like
should be
that.
covered. If it doesn't have sidewalks, with sidewalks, I say you
Something
can
like
get away
that,
with it.
Linda?
But if it's 40 miles an hour, there's no, I mean, you sit there and you watch these cars racing past kids.
Yeah.
Well, initially you said 30, which I liked.
I said anything
No,
over
Right,
30.
above.
Anything over 30,
Oh,
which is
oh.
40. There are no 35-mile-an-hour speed zones, it's 30 or 40.
Oh,
So,
okay,
same
okay.
thing. I say if it's 30, which is posted, which is the minimum, that's okay. But once it gets to 40, there is no 35-mile-an-hour speed limit anywhere. It's basically 30
Yes,
or 40.
I have never seen
When you get to 30, 40, whether you go to Parkway, Old Road,
Ocean Avenue.
Ocean Avenue, Lakeland, I'm sure there are areas south, I don't know what the speed limit on Locust is heading
Yeah.
south, but whatever, if it's over 40, it's great that we only have bus stops on the side street where those same kids are then exiting the bus and walking along that main road to get to their homes, 6 houses, which is about 300, 400 feet. That is quite a distance to get home. These are middle school kids.
What he's talking about is a concern. A
No,
concern.
the question that I have is, I don't know if it's safe to stop on that main road. So there's certain conditions that the program that routes the kids through follows in order to put their stops where they are. Some of it is, obviously the density of kids and where they are on them. I don't know if it's safe enough to stop on the road, is the question. So, so I would have to go and
They're
talk
actually-
to our director. of
Last week, I
transportation.
actually noticed a minibus. So I know there may be different rules, but a minibus dropped the kid off right in front of their house, and it was right around where Chris's kid
We gotta
was.
do something because it's very
Minibuses
dangerous for these
have
kids.
door-to-door transportation.
Correct. My
Right,
son
no, I
gets door-to-door,
understand that,
but this doesn't impact me at all. My
But
son
I'm-
already gets door-to-door transportation. I do know, for example, on Pond Road, which is not as busy as Ocean, but certainly is busy enough, Station buses are able to stop along the main road. So it doesn't see, if it's something
Yeah,
that,
that's just the question I
yeah,
would have.
if
I want to
something
make
is
sure all
done-
kids are safe.
if
Yeah.
it's something that's done that is Connect One policy as compared to the state policy, because they are able to stop on the
And
main
we
road.
need-
Where he's talking about is a turn in the
I know
road.
exactly where it is.
Yeah, and the turn in that
Needs
road,
to tell you about these things.
all those houses in that clip, they should, that's very dangerous. I know where he's talking about, there's a lot of accidents that happen.
Okay. So I will talk to the director of transportation, find out how many students actually live on those roads and how many stops it would be, and if it's to give you more information.
Please.
And that way you can
I
make a
can't-
decision if you want to increase the route size. So I can definitely get you that information. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Speaking of which, I know, somebody in my area, they were saying that because of the overgrowth of trees and bushes or whatever, it actually overgrown so much that kids were actually standing in the street where their actual bus stop was. But it was the town that needed to clean it up. So I did see the truck today. Hopefully they went to that area to clean that up. Because it really was dangerous for kids. And not only is it about a public, our kids, also the public bus.
But is that something
line,
that
too.
we see something like that, we should contact you and you
Yeah,
contact
report.
the town?
We report to the town, of course.
Okay, so I'll see if that town actually came. Like I said, I saw the truck. Hopefully they did come and clean that up.
So just want to say, I think that's a great idea. That just hit too close to, just as innocent as putting your garbage out that I saw in there. And I wanted to say a couple of years back too, I feel like we need to look at more situations like that. My daughter's very best friend at the time, her bus stop in Oakdale was just off Montauk Highway, right in front of one of these, I guess you would call it a group home. Which we have a few of them in Oakdale, and they're fine, they don't usually, but the majority of them that I know are for handicapped people, they're mentally impaired and they learn to live together. But this particular one is people that come out of jail or come off of drug programs and things like that. It's like a group home for that sort of population. And here we have our young girls standing at the foot of their driveway every morning, and it was unnerving to the parents, and they tried, and they called, and they bus department, and no, there's nothing we could, please, just move it one block over. Just move it a block over, they'll walk further there. So I'm very happy to hear that you'll consider the change, because, and I don't know the new bus person or whatever now, but I can tell you a couple of years ago, they just weren't having it, and that was unsafe. I wouldn't have stood for my child standing there. So I'm happy to hear that they'll look into it. That's one thing. As far as the bathrooms, I know that you go and you have done a lot of repairs and all that, but as far as not hearing about it, I know it's a big problem, and I know it's a big problem in other high schools, but it's been this bad for as many years as my kids are in that high school, and my oldest is 28 now. I don't know the answer. I don't know how to stop the vaping. I don't know how to stop whatever goes on in there. But to my knowledge, we kind of recently hired people to stand by the bathrooms. So maybe we need to hire them, one for every single bathroom. You know, every single bathroom. As far as like you were saying, maybe sometimes they're not broken and that's just what we're told. But the principal says it's not so. You know, he also said that there's never a line. He's never seen a line. If I went through my photos here, I can show you 5 pictures of lines of my son on the back like this. They can jump in the car and come home to poop. You know, they couldn't get into the bathroom or be late to class and all that. They come running home after school and, you know, just woke to anybody who's in their way. It's not good. You can't, you know, you can't focus, you can't work, you can't when you feel like that. So as far as the bathrooms, I don't know, but it's been bad for a long time. My other thing was, last night at this meeting about the food service, I was disappointed that I was under the impression, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought that this person, whoever it was that was coming, was kind of analyzing our program to see where the loss of money is. It's a heck of a lot of money. But I didn't get that from her presentation. I don't know what I really learned from the presentation, but I still am very interested to know where all that money goes every year. I mean, I was saying, I see it as new clubs. I see it as, you know, helping kids get on trips that can't afford. I see it as, you know, maybe paying for the AP test for the kids. You know, there's just, it's a lot of money to lose every year. And so, I don't know, aside from some board members bringing it up again and again, I don't see, like, there's no urgency to find out where all that money is going. What do we do about it? Or, like, can our business people, the numbers people, dive into it and see what, you know, analyze it or whatever goes on, where's it going? How could it be that much of a loss?
We do need to try to loss on that or an audit on that, because there has to be a reason that that's so large.
I can't even figure, I don't know how many
There
years
has to,
that's
but
a
there's
problem.
an internal audit that will tell us, an audit will tell us where the money is going and what we need to fix. There's no reason we should let it get that large for this one.
Well, in the prior years, supposedly, when the auditor has spoken in regard to this issue, they always said, oh, we're sort of in line with other districts.
I don't care.
And that their losses. I just happen to
We
think
should
that
have a law.
I just happen to think that last year was
Right.
significant.
And if that lady said if there were districts making a profit. So if they can make a profit from it, why are we
Something's not right.
okay with the loss? Because
No,
other
that's-
districts have it.
Okay,
So-
well, and that was what the auditor did tell us that, so I think we need to dig deeper ourselves into this, look at the P&L, look at, I mean, one of the things that I, heard in last night's presentation was the 6 to 8 meals served in a minute. I think if we listened closely, there was information she was providing to us, we just needed to, sort of figure out what that was.
We need to act on it.
The other thing is too, Deidre, and actually Eileen just jogged my memory in the parking lot, is that we had a choice, either, I think it was like 5,000
All right.
or 1,000. So the 1,000 was just for her to come around and pick a couple of buildings,
And check out the quality.
check out the quality and stuff like that.
We
I think
didn't
at
want to do the whole
5,000.
$5,000 one, but we opened our books to her.
Yeah,
I think that's what
am
it
I
was.
correct on that?
Correct, there were two different levels of contracts that the board.
So that was our fault. We didn't do.
It's not our fault, that's.
Well,
that's what
we
we
wanted to
do.
just see the basics. We didn't want to spend all that money. And,
I would spend the 5,000,
Well, now-
say 350. I mean,
Yep. well, when I
That
saw the
doesn't
number this
guarantee you're
year.
gonna save 300.
Now, remember, when we contracted her, that was over a year ago. when I first got on the board. That was way over a year ago, we didn't even know those numbers yet. So,
Yeah, that's.
now we know those numbers, now we
That's guaranteed
probably
that
need
you
to do
spend
that.
5,000.
Right, I mean, you're right, it doesn't, there's no guarantee, but
Right.
somebody.
And she's not an auditor, she's just a lunch person that knows what to look for.
Right.
I think one of the things, and hopefully tonight we'll have a new business official depending on our board, but, these are one of the tasks you provide something you can provide to her and she can delegate to her staff and provide a board, a comprehensive, plan on why we're losing and maybe recommendations on how we can do
Right.
cuts going forward.
Right, you can't, lose that amount of money. Not to change subject back, but back to the bathrooms again, are you saying that you as board members are not permitted to walk into the high school?
Yep.
Or any school?
Any school.
Why?
I don't
Is
know.
that customary in other districts? I mean, that's why you're here, to kind of keep an eye on
Yeah,
things.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
we were told also that we're special.
Right, we have no other rights and responsibilities other than you as a taxpayer would. So you're not allowed
And
to
you
walk
are
in the school.
special, we asked you to do this for us.
Well, that's not what words were.
But again, but by
Oh,
by whom? But is this,
The attorneys.
No.
I don't remember who told us. All I know is I gave my badge back.
Well,
It doesn't work anyway, what's
Oh,
the
no,
point?
let me tell my story.
Go ahead.
Good story. On the first day of school, I have to tell my little story.
No?
I went to bring my son to school at elementary school, and I wanted to meet the superintendent and some other people to be introduced and see the kids. I like seeing the little kids. I still have a little kid. I like seeing them when they're going into the schools. It's enjoyable. They're getting big fast. I know you guys know that. So I go to all the schools. Pictures are put up by Mr. Maniaci, and she's not here, but she would tell you if she was. Ms. Kennedy sent me a message thinking that I went in by myself without anyone's authority. Said that there were people that complained that they saw me walking through the building when I was walking right beside Dr. Adams. So I'm not trying to, I'm just saying to you, if you can believe it, my good day, and I was so happy I got to see all these children at all these different schools, went from positive to negative real
why are
fast.
you allowed to go to concerts and things? But whose rule is it? Is it Dr. Adams?
It's
State
state
law.
law.
It's state law?
Correct. When they're impaneled as a board, then they have the power and fiduciary responsibilities as a board. But when they are single, they are still public. And that's state law.
So I have a question for you. So 5 of us, or no, 3 of us, consensus.
Yep.
If 3 of us said, we want to go into the
Then
building,
we can do it.
so 3 of us could go in, but we'd have to go in together.
Well, then you'd be having a board meeting. So that's a problem too. If this is really just,
No, we'd be doing building inspections.
Yeah, but if
Make
those
your life
bathrooms
easier.
aren't working, and, the bathrooms, are they really not working, or are they locked? And,
the
like, open
responsibility
up
of
the
the board
bathrooms
is
now.
to let us know that so that we can take care of it as immediately as possible. That's
I
the
think what she's trying to say though, is it's not happening. If they could come,
There's no trust.
if they got the word from us, it would actually make you guys feel better.
Sure, there
And
we go.
everything would be.
Problem is everybody just,
I think that's
people
what
don't
she's
understand that
I
they
know.
were trying to go in to try to do that, but it's not as easy as everyone thinks.
It just seems like whatever is easier, lock them up. I'm kind of question, like Jackie did, are they all the ones that, I know some of them are broken, time to time, obviously, but are they always broken, like it said? Or, or if one of the board members calls and says we want to come and see, then we can unlock the place.
I can promise,
So we're September 25th. We had one email from a parent actually letting us know that a stall lock was broken. That was fixed within 2 hours of the start of school the next morning. I don't hear a whole plethora of complaints that the building is
No,
locked.
we do.
no, we did.
Because we have now provided, the board provided someone to sit and monitor each one of the bathrooms. If a bathroom is locked, if I knew that, I would go and look myself. Because you know what, if it's not broken, there's no reason for it to be locked. So, those are the kind of things that if
Apparently
I,
it's at the high school.
Yeah. I think-
but we did provide, the board put in the budget to provide monitors for every single restroom. And so those restrooms should be open while the students are in the building, the whole time they're in the building. So if that's not happening, that's not the directive that was given to the principal and that staff. And That's a problem.
But when we hired last year for that, at that point, did we hire one for every bathroom? Or
Yes.
is that new this year?
That's new this year.
No.
It was put in this year's budget.
So last year we hired some, but this year now there's one for every bathroom?
Correct.
Well, that should
Every
help.
student bathroom.
That should.
It should help, you're right.
So if you hear anything, let us know immediately or let Dr.
Let me know immediately. I'll go, I'm not gonna tell them like that I've heard it's locked. I wanna see if it's locked, and I wanna see
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, yeah. All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Going once, twice.
Oh, I think.
Okay, moving on to. Okay, recommended action, I want to remind the board that on Schedule 2, we added, one, but Eileen is asking,
Schedule 2 as an.
yeah, Schedule 2, but Eileen is asking that particular item that was added on
Mhm.
to be extracted for separate vote.
Okay.
So I don't know where it lies on their Schedule 2.
It's not on there yet, it was gonna be added.
Right,
you know,
right.
As amended, so
So-
we'll just put it on, items,
Okay, so.
You know,
I
separate.
Item Q for separate vote.
Yeah.
Item Q for a separate vote, okay. All right, so, I need a motion and second to extract Q for a separate vote. Second, all in favor? Okay, I'd like a motion and a second for the balance of the appointment.
What about the first?
I'm sorry. Yeah, right?
Schedule 1.
Yeah, Schedule
Yeah.
1. I'm jumping into Schedule 2. I need a motion and a second for Schedule 1, which is the resignations, terminations, leaves of absence. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second, all in favor? Okay, Schedule 2.
Wait, on motion 1, I did request all backup paperwork for the future, so I just want to reiterate that.
Yeah, I think that's on record.
Okay.
Okay, Schedule 2, excluding Q, which is appointments, tenure, salary chart, changes. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, I'm taking a vote now for item Q. I need a motion and a second. For the vote? For the vote, motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain. For the reasons I noted in the executive.
Okay, so you have 3 yes, 1 abstention on Q. Okay, moving on to,
Can't do it.
okay, I'm moving on to consent agenda. Items 2 through 18, I need a motion and second, and then we can have a discussion.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
we have a second on the table already. Eileen Panico, have any questions, Eileen, 2 to 18?
Yes, I do.
What did I tell you in the parking lot?
Listen, it wasn't my fault Jackie spoke so much. One of quick questions. 4, CHS club charters, any issues such as freshman awareness and freshman orientation. So in other words, I want to make sure that any stipends or anything like that is not for a club that is no longer going to be happening.
Are we gonna be invited to that?
To,
Can we request an invitation to freshman orientation and
Did you know it's
freshman?
right on me?
I'm sorry, but I'm asking.
Yes.
Yes, we're always.
All events we send to the district clerk.
Okay,
Of course.
thank you. I wanna make sure I'm getting invited, because I'd like to go.
I know not, Eileen, come on.
So are there any issues with these charters that we're paying stipends for charters that, for clubs that are gone, or? I want to make sure there's no problems, like we had with freshman awareness, and freshman orientation.
No, these are charters for school, clubs that we had at the school year.
Okay. Then we have this consultant services contract, for all of the specialized consultant services contract. I want to make sure that there's no issues or violations with any units of the contracts, as we did have in the past. Okay. John. I'm gonna save you for last, John. People want to hear you.
Oh, look, you make John smile tonight.
People want to hear you. Yogonomics. What is the approval is needed to generate what? What do we do?
Purchase order.
Okay.
So for, based upon
Yes,
our,
clean.
so our auditor has requested that when we have services like this that are not budgeted for during the budget cycle that are added after, that the board is aware of that change.
Oh, okay.
It was budgeted for, but just not in the name of the company. So these presentations were budgeted, but they didn't have the company selected
All
yet.
right, and it's only $1,200.
Right.
Okay, the APPR lead evaluators, again, I'm gonna ask, are there any issues, any contractual issues with any units with the
No,
APPR?
this is something that we do as an awareness to both our community as well as our bargaining unit. It is not all of the administrators, but once all of the administrators will be completed, probably at the end of this month, so the next month will be on.
Okay, just making sure. Trips, we have two trips, I think. And they don't have the new form that we did talk about, which I'm very excited to have. But there is a NISBA trip and a Brown University trip. There's no cost on it, and I'd like to know how the students that cannot afford to pay are going.
That information was included electronically and was attached to the agenda items. Promise.
My computer was not opening.
Sorry, but that is accounted for.
So you don't know the cost of.
So Brown
I see them,
University
yeah.
is
I see
a
them, yeah.
trivia.
But now, how are we providing for the children that can't afford to go on these things? Like, there are gonna be fundraisers, like,
For the Brown University,
yeah.
the track booster club.
Okay, and what about NISBA?
NISBA is our all-state students.
Okay.
We pay for them.
Oh, the district pays for it, good. Okay, then we have the facilities use organization approval list. These are just the ones that sent in all their paperwork, but they're still subject to that fee schedule, correct?
Only if they're using when the buildings are closed and we need to bring in any kind of guidance to your staff.
Okay, perfect. Now, John, you're up.
Oh, wait, can I ask a question?
No,
before
I have
you
two more
use-
questions for
No,
John.
this one's a quick one. On a number 11, that monies that are coming back, that
I
goes
did that.
into the general fund?
That's my questions. You.
Wait, did you answer it?
No, that's for my John questions.
Oh, that would be.
No, I want to know, first of all, why the work wasn't done,
I think it was, they.
and where then he goes to Linda, where's the money?
So,
Well, what happened with this work? I'm glad we're getting money back, but why are we getting money back?
when we bid out projects, there's always a concern that there's gonna be something unforeseen.
Right.
Whether it's vaping, whether it's wires that were not anticipated in the drawings. So 99% of all drawings associated with capital work call for an allowance.
Right.
So that allowance covers those unforeseen expenses and allows the district to maintain that contract without having to go to the board and say, listen, I need another $4,000.
But we didn't have any unforeseen allowances.
We didn't have any unforeseen expenses.
Expenses, sorry.
But if you look at it, you will see that there are a couple that show
I saw it, yeah.
an outflow of money, and yet the others are all allowance reimbursements.
Okay, so where does that money go to now, Linda?
It has to go back to the capital.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Perfect.
capital.
Thank you. My
So
question's
when it
done.
goes back to capital,
Now it's on you, committee.
so when it goes back to capital, and,
It has to be used for the projects that were assigned in that capital project.
right, so the 46 is the 46, no, it's not the 46, it's 2014, right?
This is the 2017-18 transfer to capital that we did.
Right, no, okay, so then, this money,
No, you shouldn't be
will go back, will be,
There's one project that has not been done as far as the 2017-18 transfer to capital,
yeah,
and that was to incorporate more equipment in the district on the BMS system.
okay, so then, this money could be used to add additional?
We can create another project to
Oh,
utilize those
Jesus.
funds. No, it's already part of the project. Part of the project for 2017
No.
was to
I
eliminate
don't mind
that.
when they try to get a table.
No,
Listen,
it
I can't
can't
get a table for
be.
this.
It can't be. The only project that's left out of the 2017-18 that has not been addressed is increasing some of the equipment that's on the BMS system. So exhaust fans at RMS and Oakdale Bohemian, they're not on our BMS system. So we have to physically turn a switch on and off. Ideally, we would be able to put them on a timer so that when somebody goes in and uses the bathroom, the fan goes on when they turn the switch on, no more nor less, when there's a 5-minute delay or something like that. That was part of the transfer to capital. We can utilize these additional funds for that. If for some reason we're able to get all that work done and there's still funds, it can either go towards paying off debt service or it could go into capital reserve, it's capital related.
Okay.
Oh, so that could that be used, I know it's municipal limit for $46 million bond, but,
You have to do another resolution, and you have to.
That's the word, resolution.
You use that before.
And it would have to go through voter approval,
That's what we need to do, we need to make a resolution.
because you're changing the way the community agreed to use those funds.
okay, that makes sense. Thank you for answering that.
Okay.
All right, need it all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have another public portion, it looks like. Another comment, public comment? Anybody else would like to speak? Yes, please, come up. Okay.
You can say it from there, we'll
Yeah.
give you.
We have an employee parking lot on the side food service, which is filled with all the teachers' cars. And now we have 2 minibuses that come in at like 1:15 to pick up students. And there's a sign posted by security that says faculty, teachers, staff, food service custodian. Why again this year do we still have the teachers parking in that parking lot? 6:30 in the morning, there's 1 parking spot. There's at least 20 people that work in the kitchen. That's the only entrance that we have into there. And there's cars, one girl got yelled at by security for parking her car in the employee parking lot. Because the minibus couldn't get around and almost hit her car.
All right,
Security approved the 2 buses are coming in. We also have another girl who leaves at that time, who has to go to another job, who gets locked in.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Side parking lot.
Cafeteria.
Side
Meetings are right
parking lot.
along
The high
at
school.
the high school,
Are you first coming after?
behind the tech rooms.
The entire parking lot is of teachers' cars.
I know that's where the students park though.
The students are in
No,
the back.
students go down.
Students are in the back,
But the food
teachers are in
service
the
workers
front.
only have that
main
one entrance to that kitchen. And now they have no place to park, so they gotta walk all the way around.
There's plenty of more parking too.
They're supposed to park in the front of the building by the main entrance. We are supposed to park in that parking lot. There's 2 signs, clearly states. You can read arrow and an arrow. You should be able to come in between all our shifts and have a place to park. Or double park, triple park, and then get in trouble for it. Now you have 2 minibuses that are coming around that circle because people keep parking further and further out.
We gotta look into
Next to 2 active garage doors for automotive.
We look into that, and we can show the food service office out there. There's signs.
Thank you for bringing to our
Is there a
attention.
different sticker for teachers?
She actually brings out the back for that. This is 2 years now. 2 years.
Do you have a different sticker in there called teachers?
Teachers?
No, they're all green.
Are they green?
It's different than
Students.
students, yeah.
No,
I
it's
know,
different
students
than,
are red,
is it different
employees
than
and
theirs?
teachers are green.
No, he was just asking
Oh,
me.
students are all red, they're all in the back.
is it different than the cafeteria?
No, they're employees.
All employees. But most of those cars
So
are not
maybe we
in
should make these a
identification.
different color.
Yeah,
I'm just-
it just really matters that you should be working
I'm
there.
sure we could find a way.
Yeah, you should be working.
We don't get paid to come to work 20 minutes early.
Well, they don't have to do it, they're still doing it.
And at 6:30 in the morning, there's 1 spot.
Make the stickers for them.
Is there any other questions from the audience?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion in a second to adjourn.
No, I have something I wanna talk about.
Oh, you know, no. I hate to say tonight's
Motion.
big brother, your Connect Park graduate, she's one of the 3 finalists. I want to see if a Connect Park graduate will win Big Brother tonight.
Motion second,
What?
I need to go out.
Oh, Nicole, motion.
She's still in it, yes.
Shush. Don't tell me about it.
Motion in a budget.
You got it, motion, and Jackie seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.